Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of The Tutor, by Lacey Rice.
I woke up before the alarm had gone off. I looked over to Courtney and saw that she still wasn't awake yet. The alarm clock said that it was 15 minutes until 6 am. It was too late for me to fall asleep again. I briefly thought about waking up Courtney in revenge for yesterday, but I decided not to. I got into Lily's closet and grabbed one of her school uniforms along with a pair of underwear and left the dorm room and headed for the bathrooms. As I walked through the quiet halls, I couldn't shake off the lingering emotions from the previous night. The weight of Emily's story and the realization of the challenges faced by those who use the tutoring system as an escape were still fresh in my mind. In the bathroom, I took a quick shower, enjoying the hot water. Once I was cleaned and ready, I quickly changed into Lily's uniform. It was odd, I was starting to get used to wearing these girly clothes. I even did a little spin turn in the bathroom, letting the pleats of the jumper rise around my legs, like I have seen other girls do. "Ah! Look who's getting used to being a girl!" Lily said in thought speak. "Shush!" I replied. "I need to get used to being a girl if I am going to be acting as you for a while, right?" Before I left the shower, I heard two girls come into the bathroom. They made their way into the shower area, and I stayed still in my shower stall waiting for them to get into theirs so I could leave. "I know those voices," Lily said in thought speak. I peeked through the curtain just enough for me to see out, but they couldn't see me. "Friends of yours?" I asked in thought speak. "Nope." Lily was whispering and I had to remind her that there was no way anyone could hear her. "So, they are Mindy and Bailey, they are the quote-unquote mean girls of St. Mary's," Lily said now in normal thought speak. The two girls rounded the corner and stopped in front of the shower stalls. They were both wearing fuzzy pink pajama pants with pink t-shirts. "Can you believe that Mom wants me to go get tutoring?" Mindy asked, as she looked at herself in a mirror. "I mean, yeah, my grades aren't that great, but I am planning to become a model, I don't need grades for that." "You're so totally right," Bailey said before laughing. "So where does your mom want you to go?" "Some place called Shadow Learning Solutions. Mom told me that I start Sunday. My goodness, she's controlling, she's even trying to take my weekends from me," Mindy said. My eyes went wide, and I could feel Lily's eyes go wide too. "Mindy is going to become like me," Lily said in thought speak. I could feel Lily's emotion change from happiness to sadness as she thought more about it. The two girls went into a shower stall, leaving me and Lily free to head back to the dorm room. I returned to the dorm room, where Courtney was now stirring awake. She looked at me, half asleep, and mumbled, "Morning, Lily. You're up early?" I gave a half smile, not sure if I should tell Courtney what we had overheard. "Yeah, early start for tutoring duties," I replied, maintaining the cover story. Courtney yawned, still groggy, and mumbled something about needing more sleep. I grabbed my backpack, concealing the thoughts of what Lily and I had just discovered in the bathroom. "Well, the early bird gets the worm," I said, attempting to divert attention. "Whatever," Courtney said, gapping her uniform and heading to the showers with it. As we prepared for the day, Lily's mind was still processing the unexpected revelation about Mindy's potential involvement with Shadow Learning Solutions. The emotional roller coaster continued, and I struggled to compartmentalize my own thoughts from Lily's. "I can show you what it's like," Lily said in her thought speak. "What do you mean?" I asked in thought speak. "You're wondering about Mindy like I can feel it within you." She replied. I could feel her hesitate for a moment, and then she said, "I can show you my memory of the first time." "How can you?" I asked. "I can share my memories with you," Lily said, "just beware it will seem real." "How real?" I asked, but Lily didn't say anything, instead my vision went dim. I peered through the car window, raindrops tracing erratic patterns on the glass as we traversed the main road of our neighboring town. Beside me, Dad sat quietly as our driver, Albert navigated through the bustling streets and eventually entering the less affluent section of town. "Daddy?" I questioned, my gaze fixed on the dilapidated buildings passing by. "It's okay, Lily," Dad reassured. "We're almost there." His tone hinted at an unease mirrored in his expression, yet he made it clear that questioning was not permitted. Concerned about my failing grades, Dad had consulted with the school dean, who recommended a tutor to salvage my academic standing. The next day, he announced he had found a tutor, emphasizing that even my best friend and roommate, Courtney, sought help at the same place. Our destination was an antiquated shopping center, dominated by a store named Shadow Learning Solutions. Albert halted in front of it, opening the car door for us. Dad, holding an umbrella aloft, shielded me from the rain as we approached the seemingly abandoned establishment. The door yielded easily to Dad's pull, revealing a dimly lit lobby. Instructing me to wait in a chair, Dad rang a doorbell-like buzzer for attention. Clad in the black dress my father insisted I wear, I felt overdressed for the desolate atmosphere, but he told me it necessary for my first tutoring session. I don't know what was so wrong with having school's uniform on instead, at least it would better. Eventually, Professor Quinn, an older woman, appeared and led us to a back office where a boy my age sat. "Andrew, why don't you show Lily around while I talk to her father?" Professor Quinn suggested. Andrew motioned for me to follow, and I hesitated, glancing at Dad's stern expression. "Go, Lily," he commanded. I trailed Andrew through a hallway into what he referred to as the student waiting room. Tables occupied by weary students engrossed in various activities filled the space. "Where are the tutors?" I inquired. "They'll fetch you when it's time," Andrew replied. "Stay put, and when our parents are ready, they'll introduce you to your tutor." "Okay," I said, settling at a table, observing the students around me. Some acknowledged my presence, while others remained engrossed in their phones. Pondering my purpose in this unfamiliar place, the door unexpectedly creaked open. Anticipating Dad and Professor Quinn, I was surprised to find Courtney entering the room. Excitement bubbled within me as I sprang up, calling out to Courtney with a sense of relief that I knew at least one person in this unfamiliar place. However, her reaction was unexpected, she seemed displeased, even agitated. Seizing my arm, Courtney pulled me close, urgency etched on her face. "Lily, listen carefully. You need to get out of here. Do you understand? Find a way to leave here with your dad," she urgently whispered. Perplexed, I questioned, "Why?" "Just do it," she insisted, her demeanor tense. "I can't explain but trust me." Abruptly, the door swung open behind Courtney, revealing Dad and Professor Quinn entering the room. Courtney glanced back, seeing them. "I was just talking to her," Courtney explained, stepping away. "Come along, Lily. Your new tutor awaits," Professor Quinn directed, casting a stern look at Courtney, who retreated to the tables where the other students eyed us. Following the two adults, I pondered Courtney's unusual behavior. Normally reserved, this outburst was completely out of character for her. We entered a spacious room where a lady named Bethany awaited. After introductions by Professor Quinn, Bethany led me away from my father, instructing me to sit in a chair reminiscent of those in a hair salon. Eager for answers, I asked, "When does the tutoring start?" "To begin the session, I need to get in there," Bethany replied, tapping my forehead. "What do you mean?" I inquired, curiosity taking hold. "You'll see soon enough," she promised, settling into another chair. Two bowl-shaped helmets descended onto our heads, and as I sought reassurance from Bethany, she offered nothing. Then, a sudden flash of light enveloped me. Awakening in darkness, I struggled to open my eyes and move my hands, but my attempts were futile. Panic coursed through me. "Relax, Lily," a voice echoed in my mind. "The first time is always the hardest." My eyes obediently opened, my attempts to close them proving fruitless. "I have control of your body," the voice continued. "Just relax, and I promise I will explain everything." "Who are you?" I questioned, the words forming in my thoughts rather than spoken aloud. "It's me, Bethany. Remember when I told you I needed to be in your head to start the tutoring session?" "Get out," I hissed mentally. "Get out of my head!" Before Bethany could respond, my father and Professor Quinn materialized in my field of vision. Bethany turned my head so I could see them. Dad leaned down, peering at me. "Daddy, help!" I yelled with all my might, but no sound emerged from my mouth. "They can't hear you," Bethany conveyed in thought speak. "I am the only one who can hear you. Don't worry, this will be over in a few minutes. The first time a kid gets a tutor like me, they only want to test our connection." "Amazing," Dad remarked. "So, is Lily still in there? Can she hear me?" "Yes, sir," Bethany replied, using my voice. "She's scared right now, but I think with the next session, she should get used to me being in her head." "Perfect!" Professor Quinn exclaimed. "Bethany, go ahead and get ready to return to your body." Bethany nodded my head in acknowledgement. "It was nice to meet you, Lily. Next week, we'll start off strong, okay?" Bethany said. I was about to respond when a bright light engulfed everything. Lily ended the memory, and I remained silent. The memory seemed so real that I thought I was Lily during it. "I would appreciate it if you wouldn't tell anyone that I did that," Lily said in thought speak. "Technically we are not supposed to do that." "I won't tell," I reassured. Lily remained quiet for a moment and then sighed. I never really got used to having a tutor in my head, well, not until the tutor started to be in my head daily. What is sad is that Dad never told me when he switched my weekly sessions with Bethany to being all the time Monday through Friday. It was just one day I showed up free and left with a tutor still and me with no way to complain about it to him. And he did the same thing when he switched the tutor to full-time too. I spent the last 3 months of the 4th grade stuck in my mind, never being released. "That's awful," I said genuinely. I felt for Lily and her story. I remembered back to when I was her age. I couldn't imagine all those times when I was playing one-on-one basketball on my friend's driveway being replaced with having a tutor in your head. Courtney came into the room catching me off guard. She was already dressed in her uniform, her chestnut hair was still drying from being freshly out of the shower. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Nothing," I said, "Lily and I were just reviewing last night's homework." Once I was fully ready, I walked down to the school's cafeteria and got into the line for breakfast. A few students were down here this early. As I stood in line for breakfast, the school cafeteria buzzed with a subdued energy. Students chatted quietly, some still rubbing the sleep from their eyes. The aroma of breakfast foods filled the air, and my stomach grumbled in response. I grabbed a tray and selected items for breakfast, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy amid the complexities of my current situation. Lily's thoughts echoed in the background, a constant companion as I navigated the morning routine. Finding an empty table, I sat down, my mind still processing the recent events. As I began to eat, Courtney joined me, her eyes revealing a mix of sleepiness and curiosity. "You seem a bit odd today," Courtney noted, spearing a piece of fruit with her fork. "Yeah, just thinking," I replied, choosing not to share the specifics about Mindy's situation or Lily's memory sharing. Courtney nodded, seemingly accepting the vague response. We ate in relative silence, the hum of conversation around us providing a backdrop to our thoughts. Zoe unexpectedly stopped at our table and sat down, the much older girl stood out next to the 5th grade girls around us. "Hey!" Zoe said in almost a whisper, "You know who called me? After school, she wants everyone at the center." I looked at Courtney who looked back at me. "For what?" Courtney asked. "I don't know," Zoe replied. "Whatever it is though, it's got to be big."